Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister says no to declaring a state of emergency to deal with the country's crime problem. And in sport, West Indies sent in to bat as the second test against Bangladesh gets underway at Sabina Park. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, July 12. I'll be back with the details in just a moment.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Stock disposable plates, cups, and cutlery as there may be no water for washing dishes.
We're gonna add some black pepper there. Season your fish with however you like to season your fish. So this pot has been boiling here for about 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes. So we're gonna check on it and see what's happening now.
We begin in Trinidad and Tobago, where Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has said a firm no to using a state of emergency to deal with escalating crime in the Twin Island Republic. He acknowledged that there are people roaming the streets who are cold-blooded killers, but insisted that government will, quote, not concede that those who behave like this and endanger the rest of the population are to be left unattended, end quote. The number of murders so far this year is close to 300. But speaking on a local television show, Rowley contended that government had not lost the fight against crime. And he dismissed calls for a state of emergency, saying that had been tried before and it did not deal with the problem. In fact, the Prime Minister said the previous state of emergency had destroyed the economy and started some of the problems the country now faces. Meantime, National Security Minister Edmund Dillon is insisting that his ministry and supporting agencies have what it takes to control the crime situation. He sought to give the assurance at a news conference yesterday afternoon.
Crime is a situation that faces every country in the world. There's not a country in the world without crime. We in Trinidad and Tobago, there is a situation right now with respect to crime, criminality, and violence that is intolerable. We're going to treat with crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago, bringing all agencies of national security to bear.
However, with members of the public, particularly in Carenage on Monday, expressing a view that the government's crime plan is too surface-oriented and is not addressing the social and cultural root causes, Dillon insisted that is not the case. He said he is fully aware that crime is complex and comprises of many layers, and that the initiatives to direct youth away from the wrong path are already in place, including a key initiative that will be unveiled next week that will aim to empower communities.
And so we have to tackle it at a different level, a different kind of intervention. You've seen some measures being taken place. For instance, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Youth Clubs. Right now, there are about 15,000 young people in Trinidad and Tobago Police Youth Clubs. And we have to build from the society, from the young people up. We gain our value system, understand what is right or wrong.
The minister was confident that there is enough public trust in the national security agencies to build that relationship.
In Jamaica now, a former employee of the University of the West Indies Mona campus has sued the institution, claiming that the environment in which he worked contained asbestos, which caused him to contract mesothelioma. Alton McLeod, a store's attendant, filed the claim seeking damages for negligence and breaches of the Occupiers Liability Act. Mesothelioma is a type of cancer which is especially associated with exposure to asbestos. It is known to take a long time to develop, and the symptoms often do not present themselves until the cancer has progressed to later stages. They include fatigue, difficulty breathing, hoarseness, and difficulty swallowing, as well as night sweats. In his claim, the 53-year-old McLeod alleges that between March 2010 and August 2016, he worked at a store's attendant as a stores attendant in the pathology department, and the university allegedly failed to ensure that his place of work and the system of work at the institution was safe, and he became exposed to asbestos. McLeod is asserting that this exposure caused him to contract mesothelioma, and this has caused him to suffer losses and incur expenses. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. Bangladesh won the toss and sent West Indies in to bat on the opening day of the second test at Sabina Park this morning. West Indies have made 2 changes, bringing in left-hand stroke maker Shimron Hetmyer and debuter Kimo Paul, that's debuter Seamer Kimo Paul, for leg spinner Devendra Bishu and injured fast bowler Kimar Roach. Bangladesh meanwhile have dropped fast bowler Rubel Hussain and brought in left-arm spinner Taijul Islam. The Bangladeshi bowlers claimed 2 victims at the start of the second test, that of Devon Smith and Kieran Pollard. The West Indies are currently on 60 for 2. Let's take you over to Sabina Park for some of the action.
Was 18 years and 40 days when he took 12 for 200 against Zimbabwe in 2005 in Bangladesh.
All right, and Barbadian 400-meter sprinter Jonathan Jones made headlines at the IAAF World Under-20 Championships in Finland yesterday when he set a personal record in Heat 5 of the qualifiers. He had a record run of 46.05 seconds, winning the heat comfortably ahead of Howard Fields of the United States, who crossed the finish line in 47.08 seconds. Jean-Paul Bidou of Germany finished third. Let's take in some of the highlights of that race from yesterday.
Yeah, it's Fields in lane 4, lane 2. Those 3 seem to be ahead. You have lane 8. Jonathan Jones has made a good run so far, coming off the second bend.
And Jones has run a really good first 300 metres. He slingshots himself off that bend and into a lead into the home straight. It's Jones from the American Fields, and also the German Bordeaux is in there. Those 3 now well clear of the rest of the field. Victory in lane 8 for Jones, and the German Bordeaux, and then Trey Fields.
And that's Caribbean Intent. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.